Hello everyone, welcome to GametechUK and this video which is a look at Railroads Online and their brand new update featuring tutorials to make it really easy for new players. So let's get on with today's video. First time you start the game with the new update, you will notice in the list here, tutorials. Once you go into there, you've got 6 tutorials. They're all quite involved and tell you a lot about the game. So let's start with tutorial 1. So tutorial 1, welcome engineer. In this tutorial, you will learn how to supply your locomotive and making it operational from a cold start. We're going to start with this engine, and this is a water tank, and the water tank is mounted on the locomotive itself. This is how the tutorial system works. You get the instruction in orange. When you correctly do it, you get a green marker underneath. So let's take the lid off. And there you can see it says great and it's green. That means you've completed that part of the instruction. So we're going to pull this down. And water now is going to go into the water tank. For the tutorial, the loco is positioned perfectly. But obviously when you're out and you're servicing your own industries, you will have to position your train correctly. There you go. The tank is now full. So we're just going to position the hose back up. That's it. We've got a green tick there. And we're going to close the lid. So locomotives can also carry water with tenders. Walk over to the tender. I love this loco. It looks like it's just been pulled straight out of Disneyland, doesn't it? Proper Wild West. Absolutely love it. Right, so this is... we're going to put the water directly into the tender. Open the water tank lid. That's it. And pull the hose down again. Again, it's all in the right position, so you don't have to worry too much about positioning your loco, well, at all in a tutorial, which means that you can just get on and actually learn how to play the game. So there obviously wasn't much water needed in that one, so we're going to pull the chute back up. And you can see the weights there, pulling it back down. We're going to close the lid there. So let's go over it and... supply some firewood now as well. So we're going to walk over here. We're going to get our green tick, meaning that we've come over. And we're going to pick up 5 pieces. That's as easy as clicking on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to add 5 pieces by doing the opposite on the right hand button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So other locomotives burn coal instead of firewood. Now let's have a look at the coal burning locomotive. So this is our coal burning locomotive. And we're going to pull down on this weight here. There you go. And we're going to fill it up with coal. Again, it's positioned beautifully for the tutorial, so we don't have to worry about the location of the loco itself. So we're filling it up with coal. And you can see visually how much coal is in the tender as well. Also got sand as well, so we've put sand in there, which is going to really help us if we are losing traction. So we're going to put the chute back up. We're going to put the lid back on. So every steam locomotive needs fuel and water to operate. We've got that. This is Railroads Online. First, check the water level. Okay. So we're going to put some firewood in Betsy now. So we're going to pick up, like we did before, 5 pieces of wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to open the firebox. There we go. And we're going to add fuel, right button, just as we did before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go, the fire has started. We can see smoke coming out of the chimney as well. So we're going to close the firebox, or the door hatch. Betsy is all up to temperature, so let's use the whistle. Tutorial 2 is all about first person and how to control the loco from the footplate using the actual controls within the loco in the most immersive way. So we're going to press V and that will take us to first person. We're going to control Betsy for this particular tutorial as well. So we're going to go over to the footplate. There you go, and you can switch between first person and third person. We're going to start by setting the reverser, and you do this just very simply with the mouse and the left hand button. So we're going to put that all the way forward because we want the forward gear, and then we're going to take the brakes completely off as well, and we're going to use the regulator to get us to about 10%. And then once we're going, that's when you can press V again, and you can actually look from a sort of third-person perspective. It looks really cool. I do like the old-fashioned vehicles in this, I really do. But yeah, you can see our stopping point just up ahead. There we go, the point's been set for us. And we're going to stop just by this yard limit sign. So we're going to go first person. And we're just going to take the regulator off. Put the reverser back to the center position and put the brakes on. So we're going to go back now. So we're going to put the reverser all the way back. We're going to take the brake off. And again, we're going to give it 10% on the regulator. This is a good view, actually, in reverse. Standing on the footplate is fantastic. I really like that. But again, if you want to, you can go third person just by pressing V. So that's the most immersive way to control your locos, but you can also do it like this as well, sort of like a graphical interface on the screen. So you've got your regulator, you can just use them visually. You've got your whistle, for example, and you can hold down the right-hand button to look around. So there's two ways to control your locos. Tutorial 3 shows us how to deal with the inevitable. It's a physics-based game after all, so you're going to get derailments. And so we come over to the derailed car. This could be for any reason. It could just be physics, or you've hit the barrier, for example. So we're going to come over to that, and we're going to press the G key. Now, the G key you're going to get used to if you play this game. It's pretty much where everything is from, but we're going to use the re-rail option. Once we've selected on the car that we want re-railed, you just literally look at the part of the track that you want it re-railed on. And if you don't want that, you can just move along. Or if you want it on the other side of the loco, for example, you can do it from there. So now we're going to look at coupling. Now, coupling is a thing in this game that still people are confused with, so I'm glad that it's in the tutorial. But we're going to come over here and just have a look at the coupling system on Betsy, for example. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the left-hand button to put a link in there. And you can see, obviously self-explanatory, that's going to push its way into the load. So we're going to also put a pin in there. The pin's going to hold that in place. So now let's move Betsy up and deal with the other side of the coupling. And you can see, there you go, that is perfect. So we're going to select our right-hand mouse button on the coupler for the wagon, and that will put a pin in there. Now that is fully coupled up. The next job will be to release the brake of the flat car, so we're going to move that over just so it's on 0%. And now the brake's off, so now we can tow that anywhere. So that is how to do the coupling. Tutorial 4 is going to show us how to purchase locos and rolling stock. This is your yard as well. You can store up to 6 vehicles in your yard before you need to expand. So when you start your railway, it's going to give you lots of opportunity to expand with what you've currently got. But let's go in by pressing G and go over to locomotives. This is where you're going to purchase your locos and rolling stock, and you've got the visual picture on the left and obviously all the details on the right. An important stat for freight cars is the freight type. It tells you exactly what it can hold. But let's go and have a look for a flat car. So if we just roll over here, we should see it there. That's the flat car that it wants us to buy. Interestingly, from an organisational point of view, you can number your cars as well, and the number does show up visually on the actual trailer. We can actually choose a paint scheme as well, so we'll just go with a standard paint scheme, something bright, I think. So that's it, that's how you purchase. It's very simple, very easy. All you need to do there is click close, and we're going to go to the next part of tutorial 4, which is unloading. So it tells you here what you can unload, and you can unload logs here. What you do is to unload. It's very, very simple, but you do have to watch out because you get this yellow icon or this yellow arrow pointing down. That shows you exactly where it's going to unload. For example, we could come the other side and you would see the yellow icon or the arrow, but you wouldn't want it unloading there. So you do need to just position yourself, get the correct arrow in the correct place, and press enter. And it will very, very simply unload into the storage for the sawmill. And we can do that with the next cars as well. So we go along, make sure the arrow is right there, press enter, and you get the animation for unloading. And this is where they're all being stored. And you can see them pop up there. Straight away over to the third one. Just make sure we press enter. And you can see it gets added to the pile. So that's how to unload. Very simple. So use the crane to load the finished lumber onto the car. So all we need to do is left click and you will start the animation off. For some reason in this particular build it's not showing the load, but the load is normally there and it will drop it off. There you go. So we've just got to load that with 6 lumber. So we'll just press that one more time. Actually, I think it's automatic as well. You can just leave it loading and it will load until your car is completely full. Same thing here. We're going to load the finished beams. So just left click on there and the animation will start. And for some reason, the animation is correct on this one, but it wasn't on the other one. So we're just going to watch as that loads up the car. You can have 2 out of 3. So we've got space for 1 more. And again, it will do that automatically. So we're just going to watch that down as it fills up 3 out of 3. Tutorial 5 is going to teach us some track laying. That's the one that I've been mostly looking forward to. I mean, surely the track laying in this game, getting from one place to another, that's the puzzle aspect, isn't it? You know, getting there in the most efficient way. So I'm looking forward on exactly how to do that. But first, it's going to show us how to remove trees. So we're going to go to that G menu, press or choose login. And then once the login tool is selected, it's literally, if we lay a track where there's a tree in the way, you can just get rid of the tree as easy as just pressing on your left button. So we're going to learn how to lay a straight track. And again, we're going to press G and we're going to go up to track construction. In this menu, you've got 3 different tracks. The tracks are the same and laying them is the same method. They've just got different amounts of ballast. So we're going to choose number 1. Now what we're looking for here is this link icon. Once you get that and left click, it attaches itself to the previous rail. So here we can do all sorts of things. You can change the radius, you can change the height of the rail. Basically everything you need is simply in this menu. And we can just look forward. Once it's attached at where we're standing, if you look up to the horizon, and we're just going to go up by 15 meters, literally just by moving the mouse up. And if you left click then, that's it, that's laid. And press the right button to come out of that menu, and you have now laid an item of straight track. So number 6, we'll see how we interact with different industries. So this one will be similar to the one at the sawmill. We'll load up the current trailer with some cordwood. So if we look there, 7 out of 8. We've got 1 more to put in. It's automatically going to lift that up for us. And it gives you the amount of cordwood that is available at this particular industry. And there you go. So 8 out of 8, that's a fully loaded car. So we're at the iron moor now, and we're just going to load this up, or unload it, should I say, in exactly the same way we did at the sawmill with the arrow. You just press enter, and we can press enter and watch the animation there, and you can see them stack up. That's how to unload beams. Now we've got an iron ore car here as well, so we're just going to go and fill that up. I'm going to jump up to do that. Now these are the iron ore chutes, so we're going to pull down on the chute, and we'll pull down on both of these actually, so we'll just move up a little bit. There you go, we don't mind getting dirty, that's totally fine. This one needs to come down a little bit more, that's it, that's better. So now we're actually unloading iron ore into this trailer. We're at the oil dock, and this is where we can fill our tank car. So we're going to walk over to our tank car. Next, we need to rotate the spout above the tank car opening. Look at the spout. Okay, so let's go up here. So this is the one here. So we're just going to rotate that. There we go. So the spout is in the correct position. And we're going to open the main valve, which is just down here. And we're just going to hold the left button until we get to 100%. And the main gate valve is open. We've also got a secondary valve that we need to do as well. Again, up to 100%. And there you go, the tank car is being filled with crude oil. Fill the tank car with crude oil, which we're doing right now. That's all the tutorials. In fact, there are a couple of little bits in the tutorials that I haven't shown you in this video, so there's a few bits for you to discover yourself. But you can imagine the game without the tutorials in the menu option, you're forever having to go to the internet to find out how to do things, so they are a welcome addition. But without further ado, let's start a brand new save and start laying some tracks. So when you do a new save, this is what you're presented with. You start at this area on the new Lake Valley map, and you get a choice actually of 3 trains. This one, the Montezma, or the Montezmu, this is the train that I've chosen. We've got the water tank there. This little building here, this is like a spawn point, and you can place these around the map. You get 1 to start with, but this is a spawn point essentially. I can't prolong it anymore. We need to start laying tracks. I'm going to go back to that G menu. I'm going to choose number 1, which is just the track with a little bit of ballast, because we're really close to the ground here, but of course we do need some ballast. I'm looking for that link icon. Now, I know that the login area that I first want to head to is bearing right, so I'm going to use number 6 on my numpad just to move that radius in so the track starts to bear right. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in small sections, because you can obviously delete track and amend track, but if I make it in one great big long section to the logging camp, if I want to add or amend or anything like that in the future and I delete that bit of track, I'm going to have to delete that full length. So if I do it in small sections, it means that if I want to add or amend, I can just delete that little section of track. I'm also going to have the addition of a right hand point here. I don't only want to go to the logging camp, I want that option to go straight on somewhere else, or this might be a shed or a turntable or a storage area, so I want to give myself some options as I lay track. Just laying some longer sections of track here. Now I know the sort of direction that I'm pointing in, and I can see here just by going to the map that I'm almost in the right direction for the logging camp, so I'm just going to continue laying these slightly longer sections of track. I can see, looking at the map again, that I do need to bear right just a little bit more, although of course we don't want to just go line of sight to every industry, that just wouldn't work. Also, I can see upcoming there's a bit of a hill, so what I'm going to do is press number 8 on the numpad just to increase the incline to say 1% just to start with, just so I can prepare for that upcoming hill. As we progress with our track, we can put in practice what we learnt with the tutorial with regards to removing trees. We can just go to the login menu, remove the ones that are in the way. This is looking really nice. We've got a nice easy bend as we come around, and where that 1% incline is starting to get higher, what I'm going to do is use number 2 in the track menu, and number 2 has got more ballast below it, so as the incline goes up, this is going to look really good. Just to make sure we are heading in the right direction, let's take a speedy walk down to the logging camp to just get our bearings and make sure we're heading in the right direction for the way in and the way out to the logging camp. Once I've got my bearings, I can go to the map, respawn, and it will take me back to that original telegraph station that we saw at the very start of this building process. I think it's a good idea to definitely scout the area. As you can see here, I haven't really prepared in the incline enough, and my rail is actually clipping through some of the environment, so I just have to roll back on this a little bit and just prepare a little bit better. So as you can see here, my incline has gone up to 3% just to get past those bit of hills, and the shoulders, or the ballast shoulders, are getting quite substantial. So I think what I'm going to do now is stop the building towards the sawmill and go down to the sawmill and build up. You're able to do that. You're able to connect 2 sets of tracks together. You don't have to go from A to B. You could do some of A and some of B and join in the middle. So that's exactly what I'm going to attempt. Here we are at the sawmill, and I'm just having a bit of a scout around just to see where the tracks are going to go from, and I do essentially want to pass through this location eventually, but for now we're just going to go from this location back to the original freight station. So I'm just sort of scouting here to see where the tracks are going to sit and that we can unload properly and everything's going to work properly at the sawmill. Now, having no experience in this game, the tutorial doesn't tell you how to start off your track here. So I'm sort of guessing that we need a buffer stop, and then I can move the rails on from there. Like I said earlier, then you can go back and you can delete sections of track. So I could delete the buffer later on and then add full working track to it. So that's the plan here. Now I've got my bearings to where the main freight depot is, and obviously I want to join those two tracks up in the middle. I know that if I veer off to the right, that's in the right direction, but I do also need that incline. I think the main thing here is to make sure that the radius is kept as wide as possible to make sure that you're keeping derailments at a minimum. It also looks a lot better as well. We're getting to that stage as we're entering the forest section of the map. You're going to be encountering trees, so remember, you go to the G menu, go to login, and from there you can just get rid of as many trees as you wish. But I do want to keep some, because I think it's going to look really good as we take the train through the forest. Time to go on the scout again. I'm sure that as you play the game, you will get to know the maps. But at this stage, being a new player, I want to take that sort of measure twice, cut once mentality and just make sure that I'm sort of heading them in the right direction so we're not going to end up with a sharp kink in the middle of the two tracks. As we continue with our building, of course, we're getting more trees, so we're having to chop those down. And I would really like the ability to repopulate the trees and put them exactly where I want, so we can have a real nice tree-lined road through the forest. But I don't think that at this stage, that's actually in the game. A quick note to self here, I thought it was a good idea doing it this way. I was walking below where the tracks could go so I could see exactly where the tracks would end up, but as I laid the track I was obviously bugged inside the shoulder ballast, so don't do that. But it's easy enough, you just go to the menu, respawn, and you'll go back to that telegraph station. Finally, after clearing lots of trees, I can see both ends of the track. All I've got to do now is join them up. I was here for ages trying to work out how to connect these two tracks together, and I was thinking I must be doing something wrong. Well, I was. You have to untick circle mode and then you can get them connected really easy. Just wait for that kink icon to show up and they'll just connect very, very easily. Well, that took absolutely ages getting my first industry set up, but that's part of the fun, isn't it? There's a puzzle here, and the puzzle is to get from one place to another in the most efficient way. So let's have a look now and see whether we can get our loco from the freight station to the logging camp. I learnt a valuable lesson straight away. Always take notice of where the points are. So already on this test drive, I failed. My second attempt wasn't very successful either. As you can see, I go over the point and I crash into what I know now is a rock in the middle of the line. Obviously, I didn't know this at the time, and it sent me on a wild goose chase. I got rid of the point, I did it on a single line, and it wasn't until later on, about half hour down the line, that I realised there was a rock right in the middle. Once I got rid of that, put the point back, I was ready to try again. My third attempt wasn't successful either. After sorting out the point, getting rid of the rock in the middle of the track, I was starting to gain speed and I was thinking, oh, this is lovely, we're going to make it to the sawmill. You can probably see it here, but as we approach, there's a tree still in the middle of the track that I didn't notice. Unfortunately, that derailed me. But this is the fun part of the game for me. You never learn anything by things just going smoothly. You learn by your mistakes, and the mistakes here I'm pretty sure I will make again, but at least I'll know where I am. So now, sit back and relax as I take you on a hopefully single journey from the freight yard to the sawmill. Well, that was really nice to see, the fact that the track that we built actually works. Hopefully it works with trailer cars on there. I'm sure it will, but we're going to move forward anyway. My thought process here was that it was going to be a run through. We was going to go through the login onto somewhere else. But actually I've changed my mind. For this particular video and this particular save, I'm going to have it as a dead end. So even here though, you're always working against the terrain. The terrain here is quite bumpy, so I start to lay the track here, and already some of it is clipping through the terrain. Now, some of it I actually quite like because it gives it a bit of an overgrown look. You would find that on a dead-end railway like this that isn't used all the time. You would find lots of weeds and stuff like that growing over the railway. So that bit I particularly like. I'm going to put in an extra point. Now this was more for scenery and a little bit for storage as well. If we've got some railway cars or a loco that we want a place for storage, we can do it here. But my idea here is that I'm going to use some of the features in the game to put down a small village here. You know, you would find that in a login place like this. You know, people would live and work here. So to make it feel more believable and more lived in, I'm going to use this area here to make a small village. It's pretty cool trying to make a village, actually. There's quite a lot here as well. There's a lot of railway stuff that I probably won't be using, although I am going to use 2 stop signs at the end of the 2 dead lines. But in terms of buildings, you've got banks, doctors, gunsmiths, you've got law office, there's a stable, which I'm going to put in as well. In terms of decorations, there's absolutely loads of stuff. There's planks, there's mine carts, food boxes, there's chimneys, there's chairs, there's absolutely everything, even down to fruit like wicker oranges and wicker apples. There's a lot here to make your village more believable. It's easy enough to get everything in nice and straight and located properly. You can rotate each item with the 4 and the 6 on the numpad, and it's quite easy to very quickly put something quite believable together. The only thing missing is people and animals. That would be great, just to have a few people sitting around in chairs. So maybe when you place a chair, it could already have someone sitting in it, or a bench, someone sitting on the bench. That would be a real cherry on top. I'm sure they're going to continue adding props, and what we've got available is still pretty acceptable. Having these tools in the game is great. I thought I was just going to chuck a few houses down and that would be it, but I'm actually spending quite a bit of time doing this. It's immersive and it's fun, and this game almost comes across to me like a bit of a sort of model railway, if you like, in the fact that you're given your landscape, it's totally empty, and you've got to fill it up with what you want to put in. And I quite like the idea of having this logging camp down here with the 2 dead end lines, and it's sort of spawning life. There's a village down here, and hopefully, like I say, in the future, if they do add people and animals and stuff like that, it's just going to bring this corner of the map alive. And here's the finished item. I started off by putting these 2 stop signs in, which I think look pretty cool. I've also fenced this area off as well. It would make sense to have some kind of fence there. And we've gone for a selection of houses and doctors. We've also got the law office as well. There's a bar, there's a church, a water tower. I've put some mine carts in there. Everything that I've placed here, everything that's here I've placed, like the chairs, the barrels, the lanterns. We've got a couple of residential houses as well. I've tried to do something with the floor by putting in planks there. I'm not really sure. I would like a sort of some kind of sort of sand or rubble that you could put down, so I could put that down in the middle. That would be pretty good. I've also gone for a sort of stable behind here as well to give it, as you pull up, to give it a bit of a sort of 3D look. I've sort of put the stable behind there, so as we pull up in the train, you know, it's going to look really populated down here, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it to look like you was actually arriving somewhere. I think that looks pretty good. What am I going to do next? Well, up until last month with their anniversary update, you had no choice about where the industries are actually situated. You know, you have to go from one to another. You can't move them. With the anniversary update, you can put the industries exactly where you want. So theoretically, I could now make this really easy for myself and have the line just continue and plonk a sawmill there. But I think I'm going to be doing myself an injustice with the amount of experience that I can learn with continually trying to lay that track and work out that puzzle and the best incline and the best way you can get to the industry. So I'm going to go now from the logging camp to the original position of the sawmill. So back at the starting area, and I got here just by using that telegraph station and spawned here straight away. Remember the point that we put in at the start of the video? Well, we're going to use that, and it is actually quite conveniently placed towards the original sawmill. So you can see here on the map, that's the sort of line that we want to take. Just to make sure that I'm still giving myself those options in the future should I wish to branch off in different areas, I'm putting in a couple of points here. We're making good headway towards the sawmill, but I don't just want a straight track with no character. So I'm going to start sort of veering to the right and then back to the left again. And of course, we're encountering trees in the way, so we just use the logging tool to remove them. Made my way a bit further, and now we can see the sawmill. So what I'm going to do is, similar to when I went to the logging camp, I'm going to start building from the sawmill and working my way back and join the lines up that way. Here we are at the sawmill. You might recognise this from the tutorial, and there's two railway lines situated here, or to be put here. One is for unloading and one is for loading. This one here is for loading the beams, and then as we go around the other side, this is where we're going to unload the logs. You can see I've already put a buffer here. That's so I can connect the track and I can get rid of the buffer and start building backwards. But we're going to need some kind of bridge here because obviously we're going out onto the water. I'm going to put the bridge out just a little bit more so we've got space for the loco to pull forward whilst we unload, and I'm just going to curve that track just a little bit to make sure that it fits perfectly, and it does. It looks really cool. There's enough space here for the loco and then to look back and be able to unload all of your logs. This is really good. I put the tracks in for the unloading section of the sawmill, and I've also made an extra track just for storage and for looks as well. All that's left is to take those two lines, put them into one point, and then from that point go from there and continue back to where we was just building with the line. I must say the track building is my most favourite part of this game so far. I've connected up the loading line, I've put this point in, and I just want to veer left now, and what I want to do is go through those trees just to add a bit of interest rather than just being on flat ground. I've connected the branch line to the unloading platform, and like I said, I've put it through the trees, and I think using the environment to your advantage to make things just a little bit more interesting. Now all the tracks are connected up, all that's left is for you to sit back, relax, and fingers crossed we can get from the freight yard to the sawmill all in one go. just doing a little bit of experimentation to start with. Now, I do want to start collecting logs and take them to the sawmill. Well, on the left-hand side, this is where we get cordwood, and I don't want that, didn't realise. But also, I've got a bit of a problem here, is that I've set the railway line too close to the platform. As you can see, using the crane, I need to move that over. On the right-hand side of the logging camp is where we're going to get our logs. So I need to put a new line there, split the one line that comes in, split it into two, and hopefully then we can get our logs. After some moving about, we've got that line on the right hand side. That's where we're going to get our logs. On the left hand side, I've made the correct gap now for the track with the platform. Now, of course, these tracks might not be perfect. Some of the inclines might be a little bit too steep. Some of the curves might be a little bit too tight. But it's all part of the learning curve. And of course, it's a video game. It's supposed to be fun. Once you've laid all your track and you're happy, it's time to start earning money. And the way to do that is to feed industries. But there's one industry that doesn't need feeding. It produces materials for you free of charge. That's the logging camp. And then from there, you can take it, for example, down to the sawmill, take the products down there and start earning money. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go from the logging camp to the sawmill and start earning some XP. I say we because I'm going to get my son in and show you the multiplayer aspect of the game. I've got my son here, Max. Hello, Max. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, thank you.
Yeah, we're playing together for a change, isn't it? It's been a long time since we played in a server together.
Yeah, definitely has been a while.
Yeah, right. Shall I give you an idea of what we're going to do in this little section of the video?
Please.
Okay, so these are the starter trailers that you get in the game. So we're going to take these up to the logging camp, which is bearing over to the right. We're going to fill up with logs, and then the way I've designed the railway, we're going to have to come back in, reverse here, change some points, and go down to the sawmill and drop them off in a sort of water area where they get dropped off. So are you up for that?
I'm up for that. Yeah,
okay.
Sounds good.
Right, if you get on the train, I'll drive it up there and you can drive it back. But if you could just check the fuel for me. So open up the hatch. That's it. Put a couple of logs in there, just so we've got lots of power.
So I'm going to pick up 3 logs.
That's
Crouch. Right click that 3 times to put it in the firebox, and that should be full.
That's it. So close the firebox.
That would be a sensible idea.
So let's get going. So we're ready to go. Now, we've got quite a lot of weight on here, and we're going to have even more weight once we get the logs. So it is a case of putting it right up to 100% to actually get her moving, to get the power through. Now, what I'll get you to do is, if you can jump out and just check the points are in the right way. We're going over to the right, so could you just check the points for me up ahead?
I can do that.
Thank you.
So we're heading off to the right. No, that's wrong.
Yeah,
that's going to point to the left. So, go into first person, and then drag that over to the right, and that will point us in the right direction.
I'll get moving, because you can jump on anyway. There you go. So, yeah, stand on that footplate is awesome, isn't it?
Oh, I'm comfy. I've got a nice cup of hot chocolate, I'm fine.
That noise you hear, that's the little spawn box. You can go back to there.
Yeah,
that's the telegraph. So we've got another couple of points to check once we get nearer. Now, you'll notice that the train is actually wobbling in between the tracks, almost as if it's not fitting right. That's actually realistic on a narrow gauge railway. That's really realistic.
Yeah, I guess so, because it's turning, isn't it? So it's not going to be one...
Exactly. And I'm sure that these old trains, they're not as well fitting as they are on today's trains.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't really see any suspension on these.
No. Oh, yeah, give it some whistle. Right, so as you saw in my video earlier, Max, I built all of this, and that's the fun part. Yeah, that's the fun part of this game. This is now our railway that we're riding through. I've got it on 100% just to see up this incline. Oh, you can see. I mean, it's probably no. Oh no, we should.
That's gonna stop.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
Stop.
It's not. It's not gonna stop. It's
I think it's going to stop.
It stopped. Right, let's go again, Max. I think what it was, the incline is probably too much, but I don't think I slowed it down here, didn't I, for the point? And I think we just needed that extra little bit of run up. So I think we'd be fine this time. Yeah, we didn't have that because obviously I'll stop because of the point.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll see how we get on.
No, but I definitely love how you can personalise your own railway to make it actually like feel like your own home.
Oh,
You've
God, yeah.
constructed by yourself.
Well, you've got to. That's the whole point. There is no
Yeah,
railway in the game.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
have
don't have a
to.
second option.
Yeah. Right, I think we're going to be alright this time. I hope so, anyway.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be GameTechUK without a few restarts with it.
Yeah. No, we're fine. I just needed that extra little bit of runoff. Yep, totally fine. Yeah, even though we're slowing down, I know about the slowing down bit. Because I think at one point I had to get up to 3% incline. Probably a little bit too much, but
Yeah.
no, we're going to be absolutely fine now.
I mean, that's definitely how you know that you've made this railway yourself, you know the ins and outs of this.
Yes, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Different tricks that you can use to get
Yeah.
yourself up.
And as you saw in the video, I had to get rid of quite a few trees, but
Yes.
it's quite nice feeling like you're going through the forest, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd prefer going through forest rather than some grassland. So.
Yeah. Right, we're just going to slow down a little bit because there's another point I need you to get out and check here.
I can do that.
Yeah, this point up here, it needs. We're going to the right, and I think it's probably set to the left. So yeah, if you want to jump out, you can
do that. This time we don't need momentum, so.
Yeah, we're going downhill. If anything, we need the brakes. Yeah, we're going to the. Yeah, we're going to the right.
Oh, that's all set. So we're all good.
That's it. So we're picking up logs here, and like I said earlier in the video, Max, this is like industry relies on input and output. That's how this game works. But the production has got to start somewhere, otherwise the game won't flow. So the logging camp is where you get free stuff, you get free logs, and then from there, then you can take them to different you can take them to different industries and start making something of them. So this is your free one.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
Of course, this is the village as well, isn't it? That you made.
Yeah, you like the village, don't you?
I actually really like the village.
We'll have a little walk round, have a look.
Yeah, cool.
You can pick a house. You can live in any house you want.
I'm picking the biggest one.
I'll put 2 houses over there for me and you, actually. Right, let's get ready to slow down. Perfect. Let's get out and go and have a look at the village. So I wanted this to feel like he was pulling up to just a small village that was, a little bit sort of cut off, I suppose, but still part of the
community.
Yeah, part of the community, part of the local economy. So we've got lots of little stuffs here. You've got a doctor, and we've got 2 houses over here. So you can have one of these. They are different. I want this one. Which one do you want? Yeah,
I want this one.
Perfect. You got a church here, and I put all these little bits in, like the minecart and all that.
Even like these little boxes as well.
Everything placed here. I put
that
here.
Is brilliant.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff you can actually do. Even like these bales of corn or whatever they are. Everything has been placed. Even the boxes here. Everything, and I like the stables as well. Put all the hay outside there.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool, doesn't it?
I mean, it's these little things that really set games apart. Is the little details and the effort they put into really go into the finest details and make it so it's more personal. Basically, like even I know the game's based on it, but creating your own railways, it's like it's your work.
Yeah. And also, I put this siding in here because obviously, as you make money, everything's free in the game, apart from locos and rolling stock. That's the only thing you have to pay for. So you can put as much stuff as you want. So I've put this this extra siding in because when we start building up, you might want to store a couple of wagons here, which will also make it look more realistic as well. But let's go back to the login and get some logs. So if you left click on this one here. On this this machine, left click on there.
Wow, that's a nice animation.
It is, yeah, and then that should it should bring it round. That's it, and that should auto do it. It might not.
Automatically.
It should do. No, you got to press it again.
That's the bother.
Yeah. So we can fit. I think it's 5 on each.
It's 5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So I shall watch you do that.
I like the noises as well, how they match the animations, like in sync.
Yeah, and there's noises like ambient noise because this is like a sort.
Yeah.
This is like a logging camp, so they're cutting down all the logs. You never see anyone. It would be good to see some extra life in the game.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe that's going to come in the future.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So you got that's it.
That's 4.
Yeah,
More.
it tells you how many if you look at it. And this we're going to reverse up.
Yep.
It's quite we've got quite the incline as well. So what I've done is we're going to move all the way forward to the buffer, and that gives you just a little bit of a run up to be able to make it up the hill.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Right, so I've finished that cart. Now I'm just going to move over to this one.
That's it. And these logs are always here. You can have as many logs as you want. That's it.
I like how it gives you the weight as well.
Yes, I'm just going to check the firebox and make sure they're all good.
Alright.
Yeah, it was 73%, so we could have probably 2 more in there. That's it, 99%. Let's close that. And of course, you have got a, which you saw in my video earlier, you have got to fill them up with water as well. You know, they're like real, they're like real steam trains, living beasts, aren't they? Living, breathing. They need water and coal or wood. This one runs on wood. There are other ones that run on coal as well.
Okay. Cool. That's all done. Then.
Right. So bring it forward. So you can go in and press F, and then you'll get that the slider up on the
I think I prefer
screen.
Doing it in real life.
Yeah, you can do whichever you prefer.
So the brake is off.
Leave the reverser where it is because that's forward.
Yeah, reverse is off.
Yeah, all the way up to 100% to get her going. Although you are downhill a little bit, so.
Oh, that's brake. So I'm going to take the brake off
That's
and
it.
the regulator.
That's
move
it.
Forward a little bit.
Don't hit the buffer. You don't need to go all the way up to the buffer. It just gives it a bit of a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
So put the regulator up to 100.
Oh, 100. Okay.
Just to get it started. That's it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Keep it 100 for a minute because it's heavy now. You've got a lot of weight on there.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. I was doing it like 30%.
No, you wouldn't have enough power. So come all the way down. That's it. You can slow down now. Slow down on the brake. Brake! Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
It's fine.
Right, regulator. Reverser all the way back now. That's it. And 100%. Let's go. I'll see you up. I'll see you up there. There. The point is set in the right way, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is, because that's the same way as we go. So yeah, let me come on board with you. That's it. Yeah, keep that 100%. Basically, we're going to go all the way back to the starting area.
So we don't have to change any points then.
No, because they're all set for us, aren't they?
Yeah. And then we have to turn.
Turn left.
Right. Left.
Yeah, yeah, left. Right.
Same thing, right? Same thing.
Yes.
So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think that's one disadvantage of doing it in real time because
Yeah.
you have to definitely do it because you have to be precise as well. Because just then I couldn't stop it because I couldn't, because I couldn't hover over the brake as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Is that 100%?
100%. Well, the regulator, yes.
Yeah. Leave that like that. That's cool. Because we're pushing a lot of weight here. Yeah, a lot of weight. So some of these inclines, when I go back and fine tune this, probably will try and make the inclines a lot less drastic. But at the moment, the hardware that we've got, the loco we've got, will do it. You just need that little bit of a run up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's doable, but
yeah. But that's the puzzle, isn't it? Getting it.
Yeah, exactly.
All the industries are deliberately done on different levels, I think, to make you have to think about. Okay, I mean, some of the bridges they make in this are fantastic. It's not just all flat stuff. You can make huge bridges, absolutely huge. Right, that's it.
Give it a little bit of whistle.
It's cool, isn't it? Cool whistle. And obviously it's wintry at the moment. You have got seasons in this as well, so that does snow.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Does that affect the driving conditions as well?
It will do. It'll be slippery. Yeah.
Oh, that is
so
brilliant.
we're summer of year 1 at the moment. So actually, it's not winter. It's just a bit of a summery shower. But if you press P, you get the level of the company and how much money we've got.
Okay.
So we've got $200, but that's all right. We've only just started. Now this is 16-player server, so if you wanted to, you could get everyone in here. But I don't think there'd be much point at the moment because there's like 2 lines. There's one train. No, I think there's a lot of work to get some industries up and running and connected. Right, you might want to take it down to about 80% because it does get a little bit twisty down there. Maybe even a little bit less.
I've gone 66.
Yeah. Well, that's all good.
Oh God. Okay.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That was the incline we were having trouble getting over earlier. I'd go sort of 50, 40%, something like that.
Yeah, I'm on 42 at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. Let her roll into where we were. Don't hit the buffer.
It's coming off regulator.
Oh, you can see it's moving. No, you'll need a little bit more regulator just to see us through this. That's it.
Like to back up to 60, just for a little bit.
And what I'll do is, I'll get out now. And I will change the point. So you can stop now, put the reverser the other way.
Yeah, put the reverser to 100.
That's it.
Come back off the brake, back on the regulator. Point is indeed changed.
There is, but there's another point down there which I think we're going to need to stop at. So I'll tell you when, basically. No, not this one. No, there's another one further down the line. Yeah, like this one is fine. Let me just double check that. You keep going as you are.
Yeah. You have to time this.
Yeah, that's fine. It's quite cool seeing, obviously, in multiplayer, seeing your own train sort of driving.
Yeah. Can you make it on?
I can make it. Oh, yeah, I definitely can. I can make it. I can. That's it.
So how far is it to the?
It's quite a way. I mean, it's not miles, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where we going to have a logging mill?
No, that was the logging camp that we just got our stuff from. We're going to the sawmill now.
Sawmill.
So the sawmill, the whole thing is like the sawmill. You drop off your logs, and from the other side, that's where you can pick up stuff already made, and then from there you'll go to one of your other industries, or you could just go and sell that stuff back at the freight depot. But yes, it works on an industry base, so you've got an input and an output for everything. So you input, you know, like crafting. They're basically the industries are like crafting stations. Basically, you put logs in, you're going to get beams out. You know, that sort of thing. So down here, I'll probably make a few towns because this is not boring, but there's not much going on here, is there?
Yeah, actually, because if you just like create a few, well, basically as you say, just towns either side, then that's a very good. Even if it's in a distance as well, so you don't have to put that much detail in it. If you just put some civilization in it,
exactly,
probably make it all alive.
Yeah. Maybe even some points off, so that looks like the railway goes off there as well.
Yeah, that's it as well. And even like you can use the storage when you're growing your empire as well.
Yeah. Because you can imagine it. I mean, there's about 8 to 10 different industries. There's going to be a lot. This is all about organisation and making sure that just everything works, basically.
Yeah.
None of it is automated, so you can't send the trains off on your own. So you need drivers or do it yourself. Right, just slow down a touch.
Down to 70.
Yeah.
I mean, especially here as well. It's a bit barren around here. I guess we've just come out of the forest, so putting some towns, especially is like that looks very industrial over there with all the chimneys as well. So putting some houses and stuff could be a good little industrial town. Yeah.
Now we've got a similar problem to what we had before, in that this is quite the incline. I'll probably give it a bit of welly up here, Max. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I think we should be alright.
Right, and then I'll get out. Whoa. No, I'll get out. That's it.
Just saw some lightning in the
Oh, the lightning is fantastic. Yeah, some really good lightning. Right, I'm going to go up and just keep it going. Don't stop it fully.
Yeah. 80%.
Perfect. That looks so cool.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. So we're going down all the way now. It's a shame it's dark because I deliberately made the line go through this little forest bit. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I mean, even the dark, it still looks very good.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
I mean, I guess the weather is synced as well, isn't it? So it's a little bit drizzly for you too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's one server. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So I'm just going to go and I'm going to watch you pull in.
Ah.
So you're going to drive out onto the water basically. And
okay, yeah, I remember this now.
Yeah, I'm sure you know anyway, but I'll show you how to unload. But yeah, I want to watch you come in.
Oh, it's very dark all of a sudden.
Really dark. Press L and you'll get your light.
I'm not seeing any lights.
Are you
Oh, I mean, I've entered the train.
Yeah, you have to come out of that. Yeah. Whoa! Oh god, I'm stuck. It's fine.
No,
no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not stuck. Okay, that's it. Give us a bit of whistle. Right, a bit more power, just to see you forward. Yeah, go on, more power. That's it. That's it. Right, keep going. That's it. You can stop there.
Whack on the brake. There you go.
And then to unload, it's a shame. It's a shame. In fact, let's stop. Yeah, so I thought we'd wait until it's daylight. So if you unload that, make sure the yellow arrow is there. Just press enter, and then if you look over onto the water, you can see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can see them appear on the water.
Oh wow!
Can you see that?
Really cool. Yeah, that's cool.
And that's where they store them. And then here at the sawmill, they do stuff with them. Basically, make beams and stuff. You know.
That makes sense.
So follow me over, and I'll show you the other line on what you can actually pick up here.
Okay.
Because this is how it works for obviously all industries. Like I say, they're crafting stations. And again, I like the ambient sounds. You can hear them working.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely gives it a sense of life. I guess.
So you've got lumber, which you can pick up, and you can take that to other industries. And also, you've got beams. And the more you feed it, so unlike the logging camp that just gives you materials for free as much as you want them, this like a crafting station has to be fed. You have to give it, you have to give it the ingredients to get the beams and all the other stuff. But yes, what do you think though, Max? Pretty cool, isn't it?
I really enjoyed this game actually. I think it's definitely, you can modify it to be yourself basically. So I think I'll be coming back to it for sure.
Yeah. And this is only just two. Well, this is one industry placed actually and connected up. There's, that you've got the smelter, the wheat farm, which is brand new, the oil field, the refinery, the ironworks, the coal mine. There's a load of stuff here. And then obviously with those products, then you can take them back and sell them at the freight station, and that's where the economy starts. But thank you very much for coming in, Max. It was lovely to play with you, and thanks for showing off the multiplayer aspect of Railroads Online.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, mate. It's great that for new players you've got the brand new tutorial, but also for new players and experienced players there's now the online wiki included in the game. So all you have to do is press H and you will get absolutely every bit of information that you need about the game. Everything from the locomotives, the headlight options, the locomotive, can you rename it, has it got a tender, everything from the cars. It will tell you exactly the cargo type and the paint options, everything down to the industries. So for example, what do you get from the ironworks, what's the input, what's the output. This is going to be really great for, like I say, new players that need to read up, but also experienced players that just need that little bit of a reminder. As I mentioned earlier, these are the original positions of the industries. This is how you've got to get from one place to another, but you can now place them wherever you want. So if we go to the G menu, go up to industries, and we'll start with the smelter because we've already seen the logging camp and the sawmill. Let's have a look at the smelter. So if we wanted to, we could just place it here. So that's what the smelter looks like. The ironworks looks absolutely huge. I love the old architecture of that building. That looks great. The oil field is the one we also saw in the tutorial, but it's actually quite a big site. The refinery has a great industry look about it. I really like this one. This is the iron ore mine. We saw this in the tutorial as well, and it's best to be placed, of course, up the side of a mountain. Of course, being a Steam era, we've got the coal mine. You could place a second freight depot. This is where you're going to sell your products. So, of course, you don't want to keep coming back to the same location to sell. You can scatter these throughout your map. A brand new industry included in the tutorial update and the wiki update is the wheat farm. One great aspect of the game is that if you use your imagination and use the terrain to its full potential, you can get some really interesting railways going. This bridge, for example, took me less than 5 minutes to make, just as a bit of a test. This isn't actually connected up to my current railway, but when I do start exploring and connecting up to other industries, this is the sort of railway line I want to experience. There you go. If you aren't new to Railroads Online and you've been looking for information, hopefully this video has given you a good start in the game. There's a lot to learn, there's a lot of information, but there's also a lot of fun to be had. So let me know in the comment section below if there's anything else you would like me to cover in the game. But that is it, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.